As we near the end of this course, you may be wondering, how do I implement what I've learned here? Let's talk about it. In this course, I have explained a system, which is the secret to superior identity design. In review, here is your checklist. Interview your clients. Discover specifically what they do. Learn how they differ from their competitors. Consider how their product or service might be represented simply. Find out what their product or service does for their customers. Discuss the ideals they want associated with their company. Discover what associations they most want to avoid. Look up the meanings of their names, if any. Sketch at least 2 concepts for each of the following combinations: corporate activity word marks, corporate activity monograms, corporate activity logos, corporate ideals word marks, corporate ideals monograms, corporate ideals logos, corporate name word marks, corporate name monograms, corporate name logos, abstract word marks, abstract monograms, abstract logos. This should give you a minimum of 24 concept sketches. Consider how each concept might be rendered with each of the visual processing techniques, even the weak, lame, stupid concepts: meaningful containment, planar or silhouette, fragmentation, unique coincidence, linear treatment, ligatures and flourishes, negative shapes, essence, system of shapes, and sculpted type. Before executing any final designs, ensure that all 7 deadly sins of logo design are avoided. Can't work in solid black, lack of mass, obscure contrast, wayward or disharmonious parts, overlapping elements, unrefined shapes, and tiny elements, thin lines. Can you even imagine that this process won't produce results superior to whatever haphazard method you could otherwise employ? This method works. There's only one catch. You have to work at it. No one wants to be a wannabe. I once listened to a podcast in which a woman had given a lecture on book publicity, a subject on which she was an expert, to a group of self-publishers. After the lecture, a lawyer asked her how he might get publicity for his book. The woman was taken aback because that was precisely the subject of the whole lecture. Pre-publication reviews, ongoing reviews in all the media, radio interviews, book distribution, and so on. She tried to recap these principles for the lawyer, but he brushed her explanation aside and again asked the same question. Apparently, the lawyer thought that because he was established in his own profession, he could somehow jump the queue in the business of book publishing. To me, that's what a wannabe is. Someone who thinks that he or she can arrive at the top of the mountain without climbing it. The helicopter ride to the summit may work for rich ski bums on physical mountains, but it doesn't work in the real world in any career. Wannabes are amateur dabblers who won't submit to the discipline of the art form, but still think they can make it as professionals. Wannabes are different from hobbyists who are practicing an art for their own enjoyment. Those aren't wannabes. Wannabes are guilty of the pride that makes them feel that they are special and somehow exempt from the law of paying your dues. They are also different from beginners who are committed to learning their craft. Every proficient designer was once a fledgling, even an aspiring designer. There is no shame in that. Equally absurd are those who think they have nothing to learn. I fully expect to learn many things from you, my fellow designers, by sharing these core principles. If I didn't, I'd assume I already knew it all, and I don't. But I have learned a few things, and I think others would like to learn them too, or at least consider them. One of the differences between pursuing graphic design and working at another trade like plumbing is that we will never know it all. That indeed can be one of the joys of our profession, why it never gets old. So we are all learning, no matter what stage we are in our career. And if we are legitimately always improving our craft, then we don't deserve the label of wannabe. For more information, go to logodesigntheory.com. If you found this helpful, be sure to like this video, subscribe, and share this with anyone who needs to know more about logo design.